What's it like living in Barcelona? It depends on who you ask. Personally, I've been living here for 4 years, and sometimes it's great, and other times I've questioned what I'm doing here. As a Canadian who's lived in 5 different countries, I know how hard it can be to move to a new place. And it's no secret the world has changed a lot since my last Barcelona videos. So that's why I'm sharing with you the latest insights on hot topics. I'll also give you a personal take on what it's like to live here. But before that, let's get into our first topic, finding a place to live. This is crazy. There's a huge thunderstorm passing right now. It's so cool. Luckily, Bella's not really scared. One of the questions I get asked most is about finding an apartment. Covered this before in other videos, but I want to update you a little bit on a couple of things. So recently, my partner and I and Bella, we moved into a new flat. So we're in a different part of the city. So we had to go through this process again for literally the 3rd time. And this last time was really challenging. We used Idealista, which is a really cool website that kind of lays everything out really easily. You can look at the map, that's why I like it. It's really user-friendly. You can find apartments to rent and properties to buy through there with an agency, or if you're really lucky, you'll be able to find what you'll see are particulares. So these are people who are privately renting out or selling, which is a huge benefit because you won't have to pay any additional fees. Recently, they did pass a law where you no longer have to pay an agency fee, but a lot of the agencies are still finding loopholes to this. Try and avoid that if you can. My partner and I were actually scammed. So we had our identity stolen just a few months ago. So a couple of things to look out for are checking to see if the website is reputable, checking to see if there's a real contact detail. My general rule is if the price is really good and it looks too good to be true based on the photos, it probably is. I think I'll tell the full story about this on the Patreon video that I'm going to make. There will be scenarios where it's really good if you can speak Spanish or Catalan because they are the 2 languages people speak in Barcelona. If you're going out to a restaurant, it's not something I think you need to worry about, but for anything bureaucratic, for anything where you've got to negotiate, I would say it's really important to know the language or know someone who knows the language or have a tool like Timekettle to help you do the translation. Makes a big difference. Today I'm speaking with Giselle, one of my really great friends here in Barcelona. So you often hear me talking and giving my opinion, and one of the reasons I wanted to bring Giselle here is because she's got a really interesting perspective. We're going to be diving into her thoughts on living here in Barcelona. And what's really cool is we're going to be speaking in our own native tongue. So the idea is to have this part either pointing towards your mouth or down.
Okay.
We're going to try the simul mode, so we can both speak in our native tongues.
Okay.
And then it translates in real time. What's the best thing about living here?
Lo que más me gusta es la cantidad de opciones. Porque tenés un montón de recitales, un montón de eventos, actividades en la calle. Bueno, y que tenés las montañas súper cerca, el agua súper cerca y que podés conocer gente de muchos lugares. Para mí eso es muy lindo.
I have to wait a second, but then it translates and it's fairly accurate. Like, it's really good.
Sí, es súper rápido.
So now the flip side. What is the worst thing about living in Barcelona? You can be as honest as you want.
Para mí, lo que un poco a veces me sobrepasa es la cantidad de gente que hay. Y bueno, un poco de la inseguridad, que siento que hay un poco más de inseguridad.
What's your top recommendation for someone coming to live here?
Que se prepare para encontrar departamentos porque puede ser una pesadilla. Encontrar departamento en Barcelona es bastante complicado, entonces como mucha paciencia para eso.
But what's your favorite thing to do in the city? Like one thing.
Una cosa, tengo que pensar.
Yeah, take your time.
Bueno, hay oportunidad de comer mucha comida distinta.
I mean, yeah, and there's different types of food. Like, even the international food scene here is so good.
Pero Argentina hay un montón. Así.
I know, but this conversation was possible because of the Timekettle earbuds. And these are the WT2s. And what's really cool about them, as you saw, was that it's real-time translation. There's something magical about having two people speak in their native tongues and being able to understand each other. And honestly, if I think about real-life uses, it's going to be awesome to have for any bureaucratic processes, going to the doctor.
And it's not just English and Spanish. There are loads of different languages that you can translate between.
So I'm really happy that Timekettle was able to collaborate with me on this video. You can check them out and more details in the link below, or use the QR code. And let's keep going with Barcelona. One of my favorite things to do in Barcelona is get into its parks or go to the Pyrenees and explore those mountains. But if we're talking about Barcelona area, there's some really great places. Other than that, one of my other favorite things, and I know a lot of people love this, is all of the different food options you have. But it's not just Spanish food or Catalan food, it's also the international cuisine. I think the options are endless. You wanna go that way? Nice. Oh, I'm stuck. Sorry, plant. We are in Parc Collserola, and there's tons of trails around here. It's one of the best places for trail running, and this is where I would come to train for the ultra marathon that I did a few months ago. I went from it was Belgium to Luxembourg. So if you do come to these parks, there are some parts where you can let your dog roam free and it's safe to do so. There are other parts where you have to be careful because there's mountain bikers. Bella, we're going this way. This way. You're so good. So I often get asked the question, either through DMs or in comments on other Barcelona videos, how to meet people. When you're an adult and you come to a new country, it can be difficult. I'll give you some ideas on how I found my friends and then some other suggestions. Maybe that'll help. So for me, a lot of my friends came from my partner's colleagues, friends of their friends, or my own colleagues, and people reaching out on social networks, going to CrossFit gyms, going to the bouldering gym. And there's also some really cool groups that you could join. This could be through Meetup, through Instagram groups. So if you like hiking, you could join that group. It could be joining a language class. It could be learning a new skill inside of a class. There's a lot of different options, and I would say it really just depends on what you like to do and your priorities. The hard thing is when you come here and you're not Catalan and you have no previous ties with the country, finding friends that will stick around can be difficult. So for example, I made a really great friend, Ash. She's actually got her own YouTube channel, and she left. She had to go and do what was best for her. She went back to the US. I have another friend who she really wants to move to a different city, maybe even a new country, so then that friend will go as well. The ones who will kind of stick around for longer at least are usually Spanish friends. I wonder if I can go up there. Should we check it out, Bella? No, it's locked. Sorry, Bubs. You can go back this way if you want. The sun's gonna set soon. Gosh, there's so many mosquitoes. This time of year, it's brutal out here. I even put my citronella on and I'm not scaring them away. My legs are full of bites. What? Can you find a stick? Oh, look at that view. It's not beautiful? Even better with my little buddy. It's only Passeig Gracia. I can do this. It's Saturday. It's only 10:30. There won't be a lot of people. I know it. It won't be super hot and stuffy. I can do this. I can get clothes. And some groceries. success. Today was not so crazy. I got a little bit busy around noon, but I got some new work clothes and groceries. So I went to my favorite grocery store, and most of the products are from Spain, and when they can, are grown here in Catalonia. And what's really awesome about it is it's super fresh. And that's why I choose some products specifically from them. Like, for example, the doctor last year told me that I have to start eating meat again. I don't eat red meat and I don't eat pork. Still, those are just like my values and I'm not gonna go into it. I've incorporated turkey and chicken into my diet again, along with fish. And the reason that I only ever get it from this place is because I know it's not grown with any antibiotics, no steroids, no hormones, none of that bullshit. Because we already have so much of that going into our food. And this is the one place that I have found where I can buy it and I can be assured of that. So I don't get all of my groceries from there because it is a little bit more expensive. Normally what I do, because I live like on a hill, I'll actually get my groceries delivered. So when it's like the staples, like rice, pasta. What I have noticed is that the prices have pretty much doubled for most products. There's some things like bread and milk that are the exact same. But I'm talking things like tomatoes, olive oil, coffee, like these kinds of things. Did I say eggs? These kinds of things have really gone up. Normally, we spend about 120 euros per week, give or take 30 or 50 if we need to get some like big staples. That might not seem like a lot, but when for the exact same stuff, I could spend 60, 70 euros. Makes a big difference. Everything has increased in price. Some things have doubled and salaries have not. Another fun fact for you, most Spanish houses only have an AC unit in the living room. And some don't even have an AC unit. And why is that? I'll show you. Because you normally have to put it on the terrace. And some of the really old buildings, you can't do that. There's no dryer. You hang your clothes here. In my opinion, you don't really need a dryer here because when it's really sunny, it dries in like an hour or two. What's difficult is in the winter time. You need to buy one of those. I don't know. They're like metal or plastic hanging things. I don't know the word. Anyways, I need some coffee. And check out this mug. I actually made it at the Timekettle. There's a few different places where you can go and paint your own. Reminds me of the Peak Project. Prices have gone up for transport, and of course, ever since the war, prices for gas have gone up all across Europe. The metro is now about 22 euros per month, like unlimited access. You can use the metro, the tram, and the buses. The way the system is set up is it's really convenient. It's really easy to get around. We did recently get a motorbike and I think it was like 1,000 euros used. Oh, check it out. I got honey from a little market in Cadaqués. Really nice place on the Costa Brava. A really easy day trip away. Actually, I took my family there. There's the thunder. Oh God, it's so loud. But what will cost you the most amount of money will be your rent. The rent prices have gone up so much. It's insane. We don't live in the city center. We went farther out, so it was quieter and more affordable, and we got a decent price. Also, we didn't go through an agency this time, so that really helped. I know some colleagues and some friends who are looking for new places, and the market out there it's hard. And the crazy thing is you have to apply for the apartment. So they'll look at your job contract, what kind it is, if it's like an indefinite one, if it's temporary, that'll make a difference, how long you've been in Barcelona, if you have a pet or not. It really depends on who you are and your background, and they have the power to just say, no, we don't like your profile. I do have a full-time job with a Spanish company, and I have this other supplemental income. And the average salary gross in Barcelona is about 33,000 euros per year. So I make below that. I pay almost 50% of my salary to rent. We have 3 bedrooms. We're super lucky with that. If it was just me, I would not be able to afford being in this apartment. And that's actually why a lot of my single friends have to get a room share. I do have friends who own their own flats and their own houses in the city and around the city, and that's great. But these are usually people with high salaries. And when I mean high salaries, they're not Spanish salaries, generally speaking, because I'll just say it, they're usually foreign salaries. Just gonna leave that at what it is, along with all of the articles and all of the research that I use to make these videos. I'll leave that information in the description for you. There are some topics that I think are really important, some experiences that I've had that I cannot share on a public platform like this. I'm going to make a video for the Patreon community that I have. So if you want that content, it is behind a paywall. And if you want some free resources, I've got quite a bit on my website as well, so you can check it out there. And if you're still here, please do consider subscribing, because my focus of this channel is European content. Sometimes you can only learn things through actually experiencing them or hearing about it from other people. I hope that was a good balance for you. But now I'm going to give you my personal take on what it's like living here in Barcelona at this current moment. And I say this because over the last 4 years, it has been a roller coaster of emotions. I'm content with where we live. I'm close to nature. It's fairly quiet. This city really is a place where if you want to do something, or you dream of learning or trying something, it's probably possible. And of course, I'm able to go home at least once a year now, which is incredible. There were years when I was living and traveling abroad and this wasn't a possibility. I'm able to do that, and I'm prioritizing it because family, friends, and the connections that we make is kind of what gives us life in a lot of senses, right? I know there's more to it than that, but it's important to go home. Also, because I'm doing this project to reach the highest peak in every European country, it's a great base because majority of the year, there are affordable flights to a lot of the places that I need to go for this project. But will I live here for the rest of my life? It's an easy answer. Definitely not. It is a great place for now, but I don't see myself being here long term. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I have learned that I like quiet, less people, a place that's not so hot. Like the last few months, I've been struggling so hard. As soon as it even gets to like 30 degrees or higher, I'm indoors, unfortunately, and I love being outside. It's because the humidity here gets to you even more, you know? And this is coming from somebody who lived in Vietnam, where it could be like 40, 45. I would still go out. I would still go to Muay Thai, you know, and sweat my tits off. Here we are. Anyways, if you are somebody who loves cities, you love the hustle and bustle, and you also love to sweat in the heat, and you enjoy hot days at the beach, and you love to go night clubbing, this will literally be your ideal city. But that's not all it is, right? There's also this joke amongst a lot of us nature lovers in Barcelona and Catalonia. We live in Barcelona, and in our time off and on the weekends, we leave Barcelona. And that's because of the nature, the incredible parks around the Pyrenees. You've got the mountains, you've got the Costa Brava. If you're wondering whether you should move to Barcelona or not, think about your priorities and try and imagine the life that you want. And keep in mind, it's okay to try something and then to say, hey, it's actually not for me. And you make a change. That's also cool. Good luck with your move if that's what you're doing. If you were just here because you're curious, thanks so much for being here. And I hope all of you are going out and living your adventures. Take care, friends, or as the locals here say, adeu.